it's and welcome back to my channel, and today is another bullet journal setup. And today we are setting up my February bullet journal. My theme for the month is love letters, and the color scheme is beige, light pink, and a little bit more of a darker pink. And for that I am using my Tombow dual brush markers, and if you are interested in any of the supplies that I use, you can find them in the description box down below. Also, as always, you can find all of the close-ups of the spreads at the end of the video, so I hope you enjoy. So let's get straight into the setup. We have the cover page right now, which I did with writing February in giant calligraphic letters, and I used my Tombow dual brush markers to do an ombre from pink to darkest. It was my first time trying, and it was pretty easy to do. Was a little bit harder than what I expected, but honestly, just because I never did it before, it was still pretty easy to do. And then underneath the title, I added a little letter, and going away from it, I have like the letter part, which has a mini calendar in it, and I did a circle as a sealed, just like if it was a sealed envelope, and added a heart in the middle just to make it seem like it is a love letter. I debated a lot about the color for the envelopes, and I ended up going with a light beige color. I wasn't really sure. At first I didn't want it to color them, and then I decided that maybe it was best to actually color them, so that's what I did. And honestly, best decision I've made. It looks a lot better, and I just love so much the end result. And all the letter parts, of course, are white, just like if it was paper sticking out of the envelopes. Also, I tried a new style of editing, so trying to include a little bit more of close-ups and have a little bit more of a active video. So if you enjoy, please let me know in the comments. I'm trying to better the quality of my videos so it is a lot better for you guys, and I am gonna invest in a new mic to do the voiceovers, so hopefully soon you will have a better quality voiceovers than what I have now. So now we are moving on to the calendar spread, which I did a little different than what I do normally, and I decided to do separate boxes for each one of the days. So I just have a little box for each one of the days, and later on you will see that I did drop shadows using one time the light pink and one time the dark green to give off this little pink vibe for love. And then on the side, on the left side, I have a little envelope with a to-do list. I wanted to try this to have a giant to-do list for the month, so I can write priorities or really important things that needs to get done. And then I also have a note section right after the last day of the month. And then I just decorated the spread with a bunch of envelopes, and just trying to make it look cute and cohesive with the theme. Mostly just trying to fill the space because I didn't really know what to do. I was a little lost. This theme, I haven't really found any inspiration or anything that would actually look good. And something I want to point out is that you may see that my second hand is going off a lot. I was trying to record TikToks while filming this video, which is really hard. So if you want to see those, you can check out my TikTok, which is in the description box down below, and I will also add it on the screen right now. It is visual with aura, and I basically do a lot more daily content, and I fill in my spread every single day. Well, at least I try. So like that you can see how I am using the spreads. But here you can see that I wrote February. I did the same calligraphic letters I did for the cover page, but instead of coloring them in, I just decided to color them in black because the rest of the spread was going to be pretty colorful in general, so that's why. And I am doing right now the cover page, the drop shadows. And as you can see, I made a little mistake. At the second line, I colored 3 in rows with light pink, and that's just a little life hack for y'all. If you ever have to do this kind of things and you know you're gonna mess up, just use the lighter color first, so like that if you mess up, you can just go back with the darker shade and have it done correctly. And for the end of those spreads, I just basically took the time to color everything using my Tombow markers, and that's pretty much it for this spread. It was a pretty quick one to do, I have to say, and I thought I would share a little story time while we wait for this spread to be finished, because it relates to the theme, which is love and Valentine's Day coming up. So that was last year, and it was at Valentine's Day, and I didn't have a boyfriend, I don't have anyone in my life, and basically we got a phone call on our house phone, and it was my ex from middle school that called. I haven't seen him in 7 years or more, I don't know. And he basically just called to say hi and wanted to see how I was doing, and he did so on Valentine's Day, so that was kind of weird. But yeah, I thought about that story a lot while I was creating the spreads, so yeah. And now we are already onto the mood tracker. I decided to switch up the order of my spread for this month to see if it would flow a little bit better. I usually would do the calendar spread and then my habit tracker, symptoms tracker, and then only the mood tracker. But for this month, I decided to do the mood tracker first. And I stayed with something pretty simple. I just put in the middle an envelope with the letters sticking out from it, and I have key written on the envelope, and then the paper is for the key, and then I have mood tracker written at the bottom using the same colors I did for my cover page, and I just have scattered around 28 envelopes, which I just did all different types to fill in the page, and I have one envelope for one day, and I will color it in with the color of the mood that I felt. And what I think is great with the envelopes is that they have at least 4 sections. So that means that if I have different moods, I can just color it in, and I have designated section to color in different moods, and I won't have to separate the design in pieces to have all of the colors. And then what I did for the numbers, which is kind of not something that I do, I decided not to go in order. So that means that I basically just went in and randomly did the numbers, which means that the 1 is not next to the 2. I thought it would add up a little bit of spice in my life to have to find every day, the correct number, but it was kind of tedious to number them all because I had to not lose at what number I was, and also find a place that they would be scattered around. So I don't know if I would do that again, but I will see once I actually use it if it was a good or really bad idea. And now I am just coloring in the little letter, the little envelope, and then that's pretty much it for this spread. Pretty simple. It took me a lot less time than a lot of things to do, so that was pretty good. And we are done with it, and now we are on to the habit tracker, which I went back to a design that I haven't done in probably since I began to do habits tracker. I was doing this format when I first started 2 years ago, sorry. But basically I did individual habits tracker with the mini calendar. I thought, why not try again? I reduced dramatically the number of habits that I had, and the way I was doing it this past couple months wasn't really working for me. I don't know, it's just there's not enough habits and it's just really messy, at least as I think. So I decided to do individuals for this month, and I will update you guys in the next setup to see if it worked or not. And so what I did is just to draw a little envelope for each one with the letters sticking out, and that's the part that has the mini calendar. Unfortunately, the 28th, which is the last column, was a little bit in the way, so it's not perfect as I wanted it, but it's gonna work, and that's all that matters. And then I just wrote habits at the top, and I can't remember from mine right now if I did the same gradient or color or not, so we'll have to see if I did that or not. And then I just wrote each calendar, which took so much time. And then at the bottom I did my medication tracker. Normally I would have a couple habits, well, more than a couple, but like my habits, and then underneath it the medication tracker, but it wouldn't look really good. So this time I decided to have my medications their own tracker, because I cannot just have a mini calendar and write meds, because I think I have 12 meds to take right now. If you didn't know this, I am chronically ill and I have a lot of pills to take every single day, and I need to keep track of every single one of them if I was able to take them or not, because it can be really difficult, and some of them are not daily, and it's a big mess, so I need to see when I take them or not. Some habits that I'm going to be tracking is read 10 pages, which is one of my goals, journal, which is my goal for January. Right now I am trying to journal every single day for the month, and depending on how it goes, I will continue with that for next month. I also have no coffee and no gluten. I am gluten sensitive and I shouldn't be eating it, but I still do sometimes, so I keep track of it because I am supposed to only have gluten every 48 hours for my body to have time to clear it out before I can have some again. So that's just to help me see when I had last and when I can have some again. So that's kind of the habits that I try to keep track of. And then we are moving on to the next page, which is my symptoms tracker, and I decided to start with a completely different type of tracker and do horizontal, so one column for each symptoms, which I have 7. I had 8 last month, but one is always none, so I decided to take it off. So I have 7 columns, and I have They are 2 squares wide each with 1 in between, and then I have for each day of the week a row, and basically I just have a tile for each, and I will fill in with the color corresponding to how bad the symptoms was. If you want to know a little bit more on how I use it on a daily basis, you can check out my TikTok, because it is a lot better to see how I actually use it there. But we are already moving on to the sleep tracker. So what I did is the exact same layout I do for every month. I think I've been doing it since maybe August or September, not sure, but I've been doing this way for a really long time, and it just works so good for me. The only thing I changed is at the bottom, I'm not sure if you can see it right now, but I have a little key, and I will write a different color depending on if I actually slept well, okay, or bad. So just to be able to see quality instead of how much I actually sleep, because I can sleep 12 hours and slept really bad and not being able to have any energy. So that's something that I really wanted to keep track of, to see how I actually sleep. And then I have on the next page my water tracker, which is also the exact same. And then I didn't record the last couple spreads that I did for this month, just because the video is already getting pretty long, so I decided not to include them. But then the last ones are my highs and lows of the day, and I have an assignment tracker which won't be returning because I dropped out of high school 2 days ago for the time of filming this voiceover, so yeah. But the only thing that I have to say about this water tracker is that I did all the envelopes for each letter of water, just to switch things up a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that there is the close-ups at the end of this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!